So I got my hands on Splatoon 3 and I wanted to give my initial impressions after playing for a couple of hours. I played a little bit of the World Splatfest that was going on a week before the game came out, and now I have the full version and I dove in a little bit to get my hands dirty. So like I mentioned in a previous video, I'm not a Splatoon expert by any means. I had the first game, I played the second one, maybe 2 or 3 matches honestly, and that was it. I have a lot of friends who have played this game for over 1,000 hours, so I really wanted to try this out for myself. I love this main hub world because it just reminds me of Hong Kong, a city I love very much. I spent a couple minutes here just looking around, kind of panning around and seeing the different parts of the city. It's pretty expansive and not everything leads to a place that you might need to go. It's just cool to see people chilling, talking in front of a vending machine and just, shooting the breeze. Of course, the messages return, and some people are just fantastic artists. Again, it never ceases to amaze me. You even see graffiti messages on the wall, and I don't know if those are from previous games or if it's from current user-generated artwork. It's pretty cool, though. The game itself looks pretty solid, too. Of course, it's not perfect graphically, and I did notice a couple things that seemed a little bit kind of low poly, or maybe a little bit less refined. But I mean, the ink itself looks awesome. That's kind of the main point, right? I like when you're in the lobby before a match and you can kind of practice a little bit, and this is really helping me get up to speed in the game, and you can kind of just shoot around with your weapon, practice your movement and things like that. It's pretty cool. So there's a few different modes in the game. Of course, there's the main attraction, which is the multiplayer. There's co-op mode, which is Salmon Run Next Wave, which I didn't get to play just yet, but I plan on getting to soon, and the single player mode. Now, the single player mode is kind of nice just to get used to the mechanics and everything, and I only played a little bit of it to be fair, but it just didn't quite hold my interest like the multiplayer mode does. The multiplayer is just so much fun. I guess why fix what isn't broken, to be honest, and it's just fast-paced, it's addicting, you get so much choice, so much customization, and it's really frantic. That 3-minute timer that they have set for turf battles is just so perfect. Now, of course, is the game perfect? No, of course not. While I'm enjoying the fast-paced gameplay, there are certain things that I think could be improved a little bit. Now, one of those things would be the lag. I'm not sure if it's because there's so many people playing online, it just launched, or whatever, but there's been a lot of lag, and it's not just me saying that. I've seen complaints on Japanese Twitter about it, friends have complained about it. There seems to be some heavy delay, and there were a few times where I was playing the game, I would be aiming at the person, they wouldn't die, and somehow I would. And if you go back and watch the replay, it looks a little bit off. It looks like something's not quite right. It didn't happen to me too often, but I think some people have it worse than others. However, I will say matchmaking is much snappier than the demo. There was a time I was waiting almost 2 or 3, 4 minutes for a match in the demo, whereas this one, it's like 10 seconds and you're in. Of course, you can also pick different modes, but to be honest, at least just for me as a beginner, Turf Battle is the way to go. It's just so much fun. There's that other mode where you have 3 different teams you have to fight against. I'm not a fan of it personally, just because I lost every time. I don't know, I just couldn't get into it as much. I like the classic 2-team structure. And I guess it's because the game is still in its early stages and everyone's low ranked. But when you face a team that's really good, they are really good. And if your team is even remotely weak, you're going to just get blown out. I've been in quite a few matches already where it's just been a total victory for the other side. Of course, it's happened on my side too, but I do feel like there's like sort of a bit of an unbalance. I guess that's just because we're starting out. Maybe that'll fix itself as time goes on. I'm not sure. Once you rank up, you can go and buy different weapons. However, be careful not to rank up too much, because then the guy in there is going to talk your ear off, and you're just going to have to keep pressing A and skip the explanations. I do appreciate these explanations, but I'd rather be able to just hear them when I select a weapon that looks interesting to me, rather than just getting 10 in a row. Another thing that kind of annoyed me a little bit is that I had to remake my character again. I mean, it's not really a big deal having to go through the tutorial one more time, but I did it for the demo, so I would have liked for that save data to have carried over. I guess it might have been too annoying to implement that, but I just thought that would have been a nice touch. So for those who have already done that, could have just kind of got in and got to playing right away. Another thing that I just don't understand, I don't get it, is this limiting of the maps. I think there's about 12 maps in the game in total. I wish they would just kind of put them all in rotation and stop this sort of, okay, play 2 maps and then after a couple hours switch maps or whatever. I just don't see the purpose personally. I think it's just better to have them all out there. It gives you more variety, it gives you more choice, and I think it mixes it up and makes it more fun. Especially because you are playing 3-minute matches, right? Maybe I can kind of see that they don't want them all to feel stale, but I mean, I don't know. A lot of these seem like holdovers of previous games, and I wonder if they're going to get into the Pokemon traps of sort of feeling like they can't change things because they're too fundamental to the core of Splatoon. But for now, I'm going to just enjoy Splatoon 3. We're going to have to see what the future holds, but I could see them going for a big update with this game in a couple years, similar to the Octo expansion in number 2. I don't even play FPSs anymore, or shooters in general. But this game is just so addicting, it's so much fun. I'm conflicted on the changes, but then again, I am a casual player. I'm not really into the series, so I'm not going to let it bother me too much. I'm kind of just enjoying it all for the first time, really. And I think it really does a good job. It has that appeal. Everyone can kind of jump in. You're going to get your butt kicked, but that's okay because you're going to win some too. And when you win, it's just so satisfying. But anyway, that's my initial thoughts and feelings in the game. I only played a couple of hours. I just wanted to give a real fresh, sort of like raw impression of the game from a beginner's point of view. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks again for watching. Check out GPX Japan for all sorts of game videos. We really appreciate it. Thanks again. See you later.